Round number one underway across the pond at the 152nd Open Championship at Royal Troon. He was here before the tournament got underway yesterday. He is here now as round number one carries on in the afternoon wave with names like Scottie Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, Tiger Woods on the course as we speak. Charlie Hulme joins us once again, the producer and the co-host of the Smiley Show. Smiley's over across the pond in Scotland. Charlie and Smiley have been talking all week long to get you set for the Open. That will continue throughout the weekend, and Charlie joins us here on this Thursday to talk everything about what we are seeing at Troon. Charlie, we appreciate the time. What time did you wake up this morning to tune into round number one?
Well, that's a good question. First of all, Ben and Donnie, great being back with you all to chat Major Championship golf. This is a real tangent, but I'm trying to work on my cardio a little bit. So I got up for a little early 6 a.m. tennis session with my buddy at the club. I was up about 5:30, flipped the coverage on, put it on my phone. We were out hitting around, got a nice little 30, 45 minutes in on the court, and then came back and continued watching. So we even got a cold plunge in on the back end, if you all can believe that. So I am just, the mind's in a good place, the body's in a good place, and we got Open Championship golf on. It's an amazing day.
The endorphins are bumping. That's why we love having Charlie Hulme here to take a look at the in-live action that we have throughout this tournament. So, Charlie, let's start with the big news of the day. Justin Thomas, 3 under par, stands alone, the top of the leaderboard at this moment, firing an opening round 68. Donnie and I, I'm not sure if you heard us as we were breaking things down, looking at those live odds. JT right now is a minus 115 price to be your round one leader. Donnie and I both think that's a good bet with the 4 guys behind him at 2 under par, already in the clubhouse as well. In the afternoon conditions, looking like a Scottish summer. A ton of wind and some rain picking up at Troon. What did you make of JT's opening round? What do you think the rest of the first round holds for JT to maybe wake up tomorrow as your round one leader?
Yeah, I did hear you all discussing that. I also heard about your stint as a rogue video editor on Golf Magazine, which I'd love to dive into at some point. That sounds like fun. Yeah. I love that bet. I can't believe I really liked JT so much coming in the week, and I can't believe I let Smiley didn't talk me off it, but it was just looking at last week. He opened with, I think it was either a 61 or a 62 at the Renaissance Club for the Scottish Open. And this is a guy who is, when he's on his A game, is one of the best win players in the world. Like, if we go back to the Players' Championship, I want to say it was 2021 or 2022. It's a shot that is still seared into my memory in the howling wind at TPC Sawgrass. He's got like a 200-yard shot and like feathers a 5-wood in there to a few feet, and finishes as one of the only guys without a bogey on his card that day. So this guy, he can draw the ball, he can cut the ball, he can do everything that you need to do playing in these sort of conditions to succeed and shoot a score. The hang-up for Justin has been the putter for a long, long time. And it's not like he necessarily puts a bad stroke on the ball or is missing the hole. It's just, a lot of times it's like he doesn't get the speed right or doesn't get the read right. And so you have a lot of putts that he needs a par save and he can't make it, or he really needs a birdie to get a little bit deeper and he can't buy that. And then you kind of end up with the sort of middle of the round road. And when his ball striking isn't good, that's where you get the really bad rounds we've seen the past couple of years at majors. He has just switched to, I think it's like the newest version of the Scotty Cameron Phantom putter. He was in a blade for a little while. He went from mallet to blade, back to mallet. And he is rolling this thing great. Like, I know it's really, really early in the tournament right now, so the numbers are going to move, but he's gained 3 strokes on the field putting in this first round. So if he continues to putt like he did in that first round at the Scottish Open and like he did today, not only do I like him finishing as a first round leader, I think this is a guy that, he's got the pedigree. He could win this tournament if he keeps playing like this.
Charlie, if we take a look, there's 13 guys right now under par. Now, typically in a major championship, you'd say, wow, where are the names out here? This guy's a multiple major winner. This guy's a dominant force. Now, there are some major winners in there, which, again, Justin Thomas is up there. Justin Rose is up there. Does this signal, and again, it's Thursday, a lot's going to change till Sunday, that maybe somebody's going to win this that was way off our radar, just the way this golf course is going to play over the next 3 to 4 days?
It's a theme and a pattern, Donnie, that is not unfamiliar at Open Championships. I mean, shoot, we saw it last year with Brian Harman kind of coming out of nowhere. Yeah. I think it definitely could set up for a first-time winner because it's going to be a guy that for whatever reason, is not made uncomfortable by the conditions that we're going to see this week. I mean, I was watching all morning long, guys like John Rahm who love cutting the ball, and it's like there's just no shot he can play. Like he's just going further and further left, and the ball's still kind of getting up in the air and just floating and going right, and he can't finish it on his intended finish line. And so I just think there are a lot of guys like that who are just going to be a little uncomfortable all week long. Some of the big names we'd expect to play well who just aren't going to do that. So I could definitely see a guy who we didn't really expect. I mean, I'm looking at the top of the board here. A guy who I loved coming into this week who really fit the profile is Sepp Straka, who's 200 through 8 holes right now. This guy draws the golf ball, very accurate off the tee, very good with his approach game. If Sepp hangs around these first 2 rounds, this could be a chance for him.
25-1 on Sepp Straka to win this outright. Really probably the only threat to Justin Thomas at this moment, it would seem, although still very early in the afternoon wave, to knock him off that round 1 leader. All right, Charlie, are you ready? Rory McIlroy walking up the 18th fairway right now. 6 over par on his opening round. Had the second best price entering the tournament. What has gone wrong for Rory on this opening Thursday?
I'm going to remind myself that nobody's more upset about the golf he's playing than Rory McIlroy. I'm going to try to do that to take the sting off me picking him to win a one and done this week, which I am regretting almost immediately. I think, look, there's been some criticism around Rory's decision-making, some of which has been pinned on his caddy. He's rebutted that and said, look, you're not out there. You have been in this position. I'm not saying I have been, so I don't know what it's like when they're having conversations about club selection and course strategy. What I do know is this. There's been a lot of bad course strategy I've seen today. The way they played the postage stamp, the way he took driver at 11, hit it OB, ends up making a double there. I don't understand some of the decisions he's making. If he doesn't want to put that on Harry Diamond as his caddy, fine. But he's got to own up to some of that and clean that up if he wants to play better.
Folks, I've got news. Tiger Woods, a birdie, a long bomb on 3. Eldrick's 1 under through his first 3 holes. We'll talk about the big cat with Charlie up next. As I said in the closing seconds before our last commercial break, Tiger Woods, a long bomb from off the green at 3, had to play it about 18 inches out wide to the right, nails a birdie putt. Tiger Woods, 1 under par through his first 3 holes at the Open Championship. Charlie Hulme joins us here for a second consecutive segment on the early line. Charlie, Donnie and I have said all week long leading up to the Open, we just talked about it during the break. Can Tiger Woods win his 4th claret jug in his career? More than likely, no. 250-1 before the tournament to be the champion golfer of the year. But can he provide some moments of glory as we just saw at number 3? Yes, Eldrick certainly still can. What are your expectations for Tiger Woods throughout this opening round and the entirety of the Open?
Let's all put on our positive Sunday red thinking caps here and just say, what's our best case scenario, right? I love this start for Tiger because I'm looking at the course stats right now. It's changed a little bit, but as we speak, the front 9 is playing close to a half shot harder than the back 9. So Tiger makes birdie at 3 and just keep it on the rails with some of those challenging holes on the front, namely the postage stamp, which, again, as a guy who understands how to flight shots better than maybe anybody out here, if he can get a 3 and get out of there unscathed, that puts him in a really good place to go out and score on the back 9 and be in that group that is seeing red next to their name after day 1, which would be a phenomenal result for Tiger Woods. I think that we talked about it yesterday, too. This is one of the better suited major championship tests for Tiger because it's usually a flatter walk. It's less of a toll on his body. You could look at the weather right now. It looks pretty miserable out there and say maybe that wears on him a little bit, but less so than maybe we've seen other places where there's been weather for majors for him in years past. So I wonder if we get to the weekend and it becomes more of a challenge like we've seen at some other majors. But to start where he started, 1 under par on a front 9 that's playing tough, if he keeps it going, we got a chance, man. We could be believing in Tiger come the weekend.
Also, when you're taking a look at a player perspective here, Charlie, right? And I said this to start the show. I don't think let's just say the Open winner was going to be 19 under par. Doesn't really play into Tiger's wheelhouse at this point of his career. Back in the day, sure, he'll go as low as anybody can ask him to do so. But if we're looking at a tournament where you're basically relying on shot making, creativity, and being able to handle the elements, this seems like a perfect storm for Tiger Woods. Now, Ben and I were talking about, can he win it? Maybe not. But making the cut here, being competitive on Saturday, being competitive on Sunday, something we haven't seen in a long time. Talk to us just about the shot-making creativity that Tiger can use to an advantage where some other players can't do that.
You nailed it, Donnie. I mean, that is what he has that others don't necessarily have. And it's, where we've seen him kind of loose in some majors are those sort of full shots where it's tough for him to rotate his body and get his club face to the positions he needs to strike the ball well consistently. And you can see the frustration on his face in those moments of kind of big pushes or blocks off the tee. But if you're not hitting full shots, right? If you're hitting kind of these low runners that don't really require a full turn, and you're keeping the ball kind of between the lines and trying to avoid the big numbers, it suits him very, very well. So I think, it's going to be a matter of how much of a toll do these elements take on his body. But, if you don't need to be really putting the pedal to the floor in terms of exerting yourself physically because you're hitting a bunch of half shots, feely shots, that's great for him. That's right where he wants to be all weekend long.
Tiger Woods on the course, as is world number one Scottie Scheffler, an opening bogey at his first hole of the Open Championship. The pre-tournament favorite, Charlie, at plus 450. Scottie's still the favored number live right now, but does move back by 50 cents, a 5-1 price. Will Scottie Scheffler be in contention for the Claret Jug come Sunday afternoon?
It was Scottie Scheffler. I never doubt Scottie Scheffler. Like, he'll be in the top 10. I can guarantee you that right now. Whether or not the gap is so big that he's in contention, it'll be tough to say. But this is a guy that it's just going to come down to putting, and a guy like Justin Thomas, who struggled with it, putted great today. Like, if Scottie can go out and have a day like that, he's going to be in a great spot. If he struggles a little bit and some of those 8 to 10 footers you need to save to keep yourself in contention are missing and they're getting bumpy and they're not rolling the way he wants to, it's going to be a little tougher. But, he'll be in and around it. He'll be in that top 10 on Sunday. It's just a matter of if he's close enough within striking distance to win.
Minus 165, the number now on Scheffler to finish top 10, despite being won over through his very first hole. Charlie Hulme, we appreciate the time over these past 2 days. Enjoy the weekend at the Open.
Appreciate it, guys. I'm sure I'll talk to you soon.